And we are live. That's right. Just as the title says. Sorry, guys, what y'all couldn't see off screen is I just had some stuff fall over out of nowhere. I think my house is haunted. But moving past that, as the title says, Floyd Mayweather Jr., the greatest fighter ever. Let's talk about it. I don't think he is. I don't think he's anywhere close to being the greatest fighter ever. Now, there's a lot of reasons why I say that. Because if we're talking about in a business sense, then by far Mayweather, the proof is in the pudding, is the smartest business fighter. I don't want to say businessman, but the business side of boxing, he's the smartest fighter that's fought. It reflects in how much he was paid. He made over $1 billion in his career. Without a doubt, he is the highest paid fighter to ever do it. But you got to understand, if you got to look at like inflation. So with inflation, how much would a Mike Tyson have made if he was fighting today? So that's a very hard argument to do because I think Mike Tyson in his career, now mind you, he missed 3 years of his prime, being that he was in jail. I think he made somewhere upwards of $300 million when he was doing it. And that's what, the late 80s, early 90s. So you got to think about that. With a fighter like Mike Tyson, who earned over $300 million, how much would he have made today? If we rule in inflation, would that be more than the billion that Mayweather made? I don't know. So I would say, though, if we're going by pure dollar amount, that right now Mayweather has earned the most. So therefore, you could say he is the smartest businessman or business-oriented, mindseted fighter. I give him that. But as far as being the GOAT, as far as being the greatest, as far as being better than people like Muhammad Ali and etc., I can't see that at all. I can't see it. Better than a Joe Louis? I mean, I've said this multiple times. I don't even think Floyd Mayweather Jr. had the best Philly shell. I think James Toney did. I really do. Now, we would have to look at the weight difference of how much James Toney went up in weight to become a heavyweight champion from middleweight. But I can guarantee you he went up a lot more than Floyd Mayweather did from where Floyd Mayweather started 5 divisions down from welterweight. That's what, 126, 126, 130, 135, 140, 147. Yes, he started at 126. So a junior, actually, I think that's a super. It's a super. Let me just make sure I'm right, guys. I believe, I'm almost positive he would have started at 126 because he was 5 division champion. He ended it welterweight. So his first fight should have been at 126. I'm going on the box record right now. I just want to confirm it before I say it is true. 130. Oh, because he had the 152. He went up. He went up. That's right. Because he fought Canelo. I was going to say the 152, but so that's right. He got the 154 title. Okay, so he started at lightweight. Okay, so 130 is where he went, and he went up to 154. So that's 24 pounds is what he gained in his entire career. That means, no, I'm looking at it, D. Will. The first fight he ever had, his debut was at 130. Next fight against Reggie Sanders in the second fight, 130. Against Jerry Cooper, 130. And I could keep going. They're all 130s. Emmanuel Augustus was at 134. Corrales was at 130. So I thought it was 126 too. Oh, did I go out? I think I went out. I thought it was 126 too, but I just looked at his box rec. It was 130, and it makes sense because remember he fought Canelo at a catch weight. So that's what it was. He went up and got the 154 title. I forgot about that, but it was only fought at 150 pounds because he put a catch weight on Canelo. I remember that now. So going from his starting weight, and we'll give him 154, even though there was a catch weight. What's going on, BK? He went up 24 pounds, and I'm getting to a point of this. James Toney, who we're going to confirm, started at middleweight, okay? And I'm not saying James Toney because we spell our name the same way. That's just a coincidence. But James Toney started at 160, like I said, middleweight. And he went all the way up to heavyweight, which is, we don't even have to do heavyweight. We could just say 200 plus pounds. That's 40 pounds right there. So James Toney, although 160, 168, 175, 190, that's 5 divisions. So he went up 5 divisions too. However, James Toney's 5 divisions was more than double the weight of what Mayweather went up. And what I'm doing right now is I'm comparing Philly shells, okay? I personally do not believe Floyd Mayweather Jr. has the best Philly shell to ever step into boxing. If we're going to call him the all-time great, if we're going to call him the number one, then we got to compare him to not just the greatest of all times, but like-type fighters. James Toney, Philly shell. James Toney, very defensive. However, James Toney was a walking offensive wall as well. So, off my memory, James Toney's first loss was Roy Jones Jr., and then he lost again to Montel Griffin. I believe Roy Jones Jr. fought Montel Griffin. Should have beat him. I think that's the fight he got DQ'd in. Came back, beat the shit out of Montel Griffin, if I remember correctly. Like I said, I have to look this up. These are many years ago. But while I've got James Toney up, let's scroll to see when he got his first loss. I believe it was to Roy Jones because he was undefeated. Yep, Roy Jones Jr. in his 26th fight. No, it was Roy Jones' 26th fight. So let's see. Where was James Toney at? How many fights did James have? People say Pernell Whitaker was better than Floyd skill-wise. We can get into Whitaker in just a moment. D. Will, we can get into Pernell. That's a very good one to get into too. I'm just saying that my personal opinion is James Toney had the best Philly shell that I've ever seen. So James Toney got his first loss. Yep. Let me make sure the dates match. 94-11. James Toney was 44-0 with 2 draws when he fought Roy Jones Jr. and lost his first fight. Now think about that name that he fought, Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. The only person I can think of that Floyd Mayweather fought with that type of name would have been Manny Pacquiao. Nobody else. Maybe Oscar De La Hoya. I couldn't even put Oscar De La Hoya in the same ballpark as Roy Jones Jr. But the difference here is when James Toney fought Roy Jones Jr., it was at 168. He was a middleweight fighter. That's where he started. Roy Jones, super middleweight or junior light heavyweight, however you want to say it. All right. So when Mayweather fought Pacquiao, he was fighting a guy who was much smaller, a guy who started off much smaller, and Pacquiao went up in weight. But I'm just saying name for name. Now, I'm just going to name off some of the people. We'll go from the bottom, because James Toney has fought several good people. And as I start reading off these names, y'all are going to know. He beat Bernard Hopkins. He gave Bernard Hopkins his second loss. Now, keep this in mind. Bernard Hopkins was not undefeated when James Toney fought him. However, Bernard Hopkins lost his first fight. After Bernard Hopkins lost his first fight, he went on a undefeated streak until he ran in. I'm looking at Roy Jones Jr. I'm sorry. I'm getting confused. Roy Jones Jr. beat Bernard Hopkins. Let's go back to James Toney. I'm very sorry. That's why the names were looking off. I'm trying to do this on the fly when normally I would have more time. But yeah, James Toney. Let's just name some of these names real fast. I want to go up to the big names that he beat. Because I could start naming them. Yep, I was right. Montel Griffin, he lost to him. So I was right. Roy Jones Jr., he lost to Roy Jones, then he lost to Montel. But, yep, right here, I was right too. I wanted to verify this. So Roy Jones Jr. fought Montel Griffin, the same guy that beat James Toney. However, he lost the first fight even though he beat him up. What happened in that fight with Roy Jones Jr., and I'll get back to the point in just a second because I go on tangents, if you're still with me, is the fact that Roy Jones Jr. hit Montel Griffin while he was down, and they DQ'd him. But it was a fight that he was winning. It was a fight that he was winning. He should have never been DQ'd. Then he came back and knocked out Montel Griffin in the first round. That's the story between Roy Jones Jr. and Montel Griffin that I was talking about earlier. But as far as James Toney goes, we know he got a lot of losses in his latter part of his career, but the guy fought 90 fights. Yeah, he fought 90 fights. He had 77 wins, 10 losses, 3 draws. So he fought 90 fights, and out of those 90 fights, he had 47 knockouts. So very, very, very good boxer. And he stayed. Most of his losses came in the latter part of his career. He didn't start losing until he fought, I think Samuel Peters was the first guy that really beat him after Montel Griffin, that he started to just keep continually losing. But in my opinion, James Toney had the best Philly shell in boxing. And people could argue with me. Let me see this. Most people say Pernell Whitaker. Bernard Hopkins won that fight with Roy. He got robbed. I mean, I don't really like Bernard Hopkins, so I'd have to rewatch it to see if he actually got robbed. I don't remember if he got robbed or not. But you got to understand this. When we're like I said, when we're looking at light type fighters, right? Mayweather, Philly shell. James Toney, Philly shell. Mayweather went 50-0. James Toney went 77-10 with 3 draws. However, Mayweather, out of his 50 wins, had 27 knockouts. James Toney almost has as many knockouts as Floyd Mayweather had wins. He had 47 knockouts out of his 77 wins. Now, if we're looking strictly at who had an undefeated record, right? Because it goes deeper than that. Then Mayweather, his 50-0 means nothing, because you had Chavez Sr. and he went, what, 89-0? I think Chavez Sr. went 89-0 if I remember correctly. Let me look up. Let's look up Julio. Here we go. I believe he was 89-0 when he got his first loss. Give me 1 second, guys. I just want to verify what I'm saying is true. 89-0. Yep. Chavez had 89 wins, 0 losses. 89 wins with 0 losses. And you're going to tell me that 50-0 is good next to 89-0? I don't think so. I don't think it is. 89-0 is greater than 50-0. If Chavez would have stopped fighting at 89-0, he would have never had a loss. But he continued to fight. He continued to fight past 100 fights. But I'm supposed to be impressed by 50-0. See, here's the thing about it. Here's what people don't understand. 50-0 means nothing at the lower weight classes. It means absolutely nothing at welterweight, junior welterweight, super light, well, same weight class, lightweight, etc. 49-0 only mattered at heavyweight. That was a record set by Rocky Marciano. It was the only heavyweight. What's going on, Michael? It was the only heavyweight to go 49-0 with a title, retired undefeated. That is where it was impressive. Why? Because it is more impressive to be undefeated at heavyweight than it is at welterweight. Why? Because when you have 2 big men colliding into each other, every punch can knock you out. Any punch can knock you out. It's not the same. Little welterweights fighting is not the same as 2 gigantic behemoth of men fighting. It's like watching 2 pebbles collide and watching 2 planets collide. It's a whole different level of fighting, and it's more dangerous. The heavier you get, the more dangerous a fight becomes. It becomes more dangerous because the more weight you have, the more power that you can generate, the easier it is to put the person away. So that means where you're in the smaller weight classes like 147 and you could take 30, 40 shots back to back and still be on your feet. You're not going to do that at heavyweight. You take 30 to 40 unanswered shots at heavyweight, and you're going to be out on your fucking feet or sleeping on the canvas. You're going to be out no matter where you're at. You're going to be out because you can't take that many hits at that high of a weight class. That is why 49-0 was impressive. That is why 50-0 at welterweight really doesn't mean anything. It's a narrative that's been spent that means absolutely nothing. Deontay Wilder was very close to getting to 49-0 and tying the record. However, he lost to Tyson Fury. But I believe that is the closest heavyweight to coming to the Rocky Marciano record at heavyweight. So the 50-0, like I've already shown with Chavez, doesn't mean anything. What it comes down to is the quality of opposition when you beat them. Were they at their best when you beat them? Or were they on the decline? Had they already lost when you beat them? Let's talk undefeated fighters. If my memory is correct, and I am going to Google this real fast, we're going to Google it. And, 1-2 Kid, what's going on? Dead Game Boxing, what's going on? Let me see. Weight was Tony's issue, but he could compete anyone from 160 to heavyweight. It's crazy. I agree. Dead Game, what's going on? We're going to look this up in just a second. He had the skills to compete in all weight classes. I agree. Let me drop this in case 1-2 wants to jump on real fast. I'm not going to be on much longer. This was just a short, impromptu live that I did. But just want to hop on here real fast since I hadn't dropped a video. So let's get rid of this real fast. I believe Mayweather only beat 2 undefeated fighters in his entire career. I think it was Diego Corrales and Ricky Hatton, if I remember correctly. But let's look this shit up real fast, because I just want to see how many undefeated fighters he actually beat. Floyd Mayweather Jr. Anybody wants to join the panel? The link is there. Where's his box rec? Box rec. Let me type in box rec. Mayweather box rec. There we go. Boom. Floyd Mayweather Jr. box rec. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go through this real fast from the bottom to the top and see how many undefeated fighters he beat. And I'm not counting debuts. So that means Conor McGregor, you're not going to get counted as an undefeated fighter. So let's go up. Boom, boom, boom. The first person he beat that was undefeated was Diego Corrales. Like I said, he was 33-0, which is a good win. Corrales was supposed to beat Mayweather at the time. A lot of people thought that, 3, that's right, Canelo. Aobs, you're right. So he's beat 3 undefeated fighters in his entire career. I forgot all about Canelo. So we have Diego Corrales. That's the first one I said. Now let's keep going. Should be Ricky Hatton. Boom, Ricky Hatton, 43-0. Although you got to keep in mind, Ricky Hatton came up in weight, not discrediting the fight. And then Canelo Alvarez. That's the other one that was undefeated too. So he's beaten, in his entire career, he's only beaten 3 undefeated fighters. Never was undisputed, which means he never controlled all the belts. And then I can bring up 140 as an example. A lot of the times when Mayweather went to a weight class, he never fought the best guy there. And Costa Tszyu was considered the man at 140, and he didn't fight Costa Tszyu. He straight went right past Costa Tszyu and went to 147. And there was a lot of people who believed Costa Tszyu could beat him. I'm not saying Costa Tszyu could have beat him. My only point is this. In order to call yourself the best, you have to beat the best when they're the best. You can't avoid the best and still say you're the best, because Muhammad Ali fought people like George Foreman, who was supposed to kill him. People were scared for his life, and he got in there and fought him. Why? Because that was the killer of the division. When has Mayweather fought a guy who was supposed to kill him? What's going on, 1-2 Kid?
Hey, what's going on, man? Yeah, that's true. You could say Canelo, but he was a look green, I guess. But yeah, you make a valid point though. Then also with the Paul Williams and Margarito scenario,
I don't. So 1-2. Let me interject real quick, fast. I don't consider Margarito because he cheated with the plaster in his glove.
Right.
So his whole history of boxing, I just straight go senile on it. I forget it all because I believe he was cheating from day one. Because after he got caught with Cotto, when Nassim caught him, he never had the same power.
Right. But the thing is nobody knew that at the time when he was coming up. So what I'm trying to say is at that point, he was like, why don't Mosley go and fight Margarito? You know what I'm saying? And then when Paul Williams came up, he was like, I don't know, that guy fights this guy and that guy. Man, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So, but when he was coming up, I do feel like Mosley and De La Hoya were continuing to move up to avoid him. But there were other killers in the division, like Costa that he could have fought that he just chose not to. So, yeah.
Well, not just Paul Williams. Think about this. Before he retired, whenever he decided to fight Andre Berto, he could have fought Kell Brook and decided not to fight him.
Keith too, right?
Yeah, he could have fought Keith Thurman as well because Keith Thurman had got a belt.
Yep, that's true.
And both of them were champions.
And he told Keith to go fight Spence. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Why don't you go fight Spence?" And he was like, "What? This dude ain't even got a title." I said, "That make no sense." But yeah, I wasn't too happy with the end of his career either. The Berto fight, I was like, why? Like, for what?
Well, this is why I heard he fought Andre Berto. It was over a female. Like, supposedly he messed around with Berto's girl or something like that. And that's why they fought. That's what I heard. How true it is, I do not know.
Well, that must have sucked for Berto because I don't think he landed one punch that whole fight.
No, he got beat easily.
Yeah. But he was on a downslide as well. I did want to see when he was undefeated, him and Mosley fight, though. I thought that would have been a little more interesting. But Berto took off and went to there was something going on with his people, and he went to the country. I remember that. But
here's my question to you. Like, a lot of people like to bring up Miguel Cotto, okay? That Mayweather beat Cotto, and they give that as like one of the big names that he beat. But let me ask you this. In your honest opinion, did Miguel Cotto ever look the same after he lost to Margarito? Because, no, I'll let you answer before I put in my 2 cents. Did he ever look the same after that fight?
I think Cotto, yeah, he did. He did. He showed some skills. I think he had one up. Like, yeah, I think he still showed. He also made his jab a little better as well. But I don't feel like he had that fighter in him like no more. I think he was a little cautious after that ass whooping. Yeah, he's probably damaged.
Let me add this in there. You said he was a little more cautious. Before he fought Margarito, I don't know if you remember, so I'm gonna try to say this without like trying to guide you into what I
got you.
What is best. Before he fought Margarito, what did he attack to a lot, and he stopped doing it after Margarito's fight?
Body,
exactly. How many people did he knock out early in his career with hooks to the body?
I couldn't tell you offhand, but quite a few. And after he got his face rearranged from that plaster, did he keep going to the body or did he stop? He focused on the jab to keep motherfuckers away from him.
Exactly. I believe he was a broken fighter, and it reflects in his fight history. He had a few wins, but every time he fought somebody good, he lost, like Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather. You could keep going up the list of where after that Margarito fight, he lost to Austin Trout as well. Like, you know what I mean? Like, to me, he wasn't the same fighter.
Yeah, I didn't give him no props for beating Martinez because Martinez was washed.
No, Martinez came over there with like bubblegum legs. Like,
yeah,
them shits were patched together. Like, his knees didn't work. Like, he was wobbling walking to the ring.
Yeah, it's true. And the David Rodriguez, that wasn't a great fight. I think he had like 6 losses when he fought him. Then I think he beat Daniel Gill, but it's like, who cares? But he did go 12 with Alvarez though. Yeah, and put on a good show. And then he got stopped by Saddam Ali, right?
He did. No. I think it went to decision. I don't think
he
got knocked out by Ali. I think it went on.
Oh, you're right. But
I could look it up.
He was getting hurt though. Nah, it was a decision. But he got hurt a couple times in that fight too.
No, he did get rocked.
He got beat up.
Yeah, he got rocked and wobbled quite a few times.
Styles make fights. Because Saddam Ali after that, didn't he get stopped by by dude, and he got that title and never let it. Or he went up to middleweight, right? Saddam Ali. That was a middleweight fight.
I thought he lost to Jesse Vargas.
Or was it super welterweight?
I thought he lost to Vargas.
You're
and
right.
I don't think Jesse Vargas was ever up that high. I thought
No,
it was welterweight. I could be wrong.
The Golden Boy fighter too. I'm trying to think. The
Jesse
dude
Vargas, right?
No, the dude who ain't fought nobody, the champion, or he's not a champ
Is he
now.
a current champion right now?
No, he was. When he beat Saddam Ali, I thought it was for a championship. I'm trying to think of his name. The dude who ain't fought nobody in the middleweight division. Mexican
Are
dude.
you talking about Jaime Munguia?
Yeah, Jaime Munguia.
Yeah.
Stopped, right? He stopped Saddam Ali.
I don't remember if he stopped him. I remember they fought. I remember he beat him. But he may have stopped him. I don't know.
I thought he stopped him.
I don't know. I could look it up. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Damn, maybe he didn't.
I remember he went to decision with Ali. I remember he got the only fight that I remember him getting knocked out in was against Vargas, but that was at welterweight. That wasn't up that high. But that I think that was before Cotto.
He got stopped by Munguia.
Yeah, I don't remember the fight. I really don't. But when you started saying his weight class and ain't fought nobody, then I was thinking about Munguia.
Yeah, Munguia.
Who Oscar De La Hoya is saying is going to beat Mayweather's record.
Yeah, him and the other undefeated light heavyweight. He's trying to get him to the light heavy that Oscar's got. The Mexican dude who ain't fought nobody really either. Trying to think of his name. Another guy. He's the champion, I think.
In light heavy?
Yeah, light heavy.
You have Beeble, Better Beef, and who?
I'm trying to think of his name. He just got the win. He got one of his biggest wins.
Who'd he beat?
I don't even know. I'm trying to remember, man.
Fuck this. Let's do this.
Yeah.
We'll just do light boxing, light heavyweight, current champions. Because I can't think of anybody but Beeble, Better Beef. I thought Joe Smith won a belt because he was supposed to fight.
He was
Better
supposed
Beef.
to. Yeah, he was supposed to.
There's a Spanish dude.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of his name.
All right, hold on. Let me Google. Let's go to worldboxingnews.net. Let's click on champions. Let's scroll to like heavyweight. Oh, wait, what?
I think it's
under theirs is just saying Better Beef and Joe Smith.
Yeah,
Joe Smith got a belt.
Right. I can't think of his name.
I don't know who you're talking about. Like,
yeah, but he's like 40-something and old or something like that, but he ain't fought nobody. Man, I can't think of his name. That's fucked up.
I'm trying to find the damn list of all the champions.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, hold on. So we have Joe Smith, Arthur Betterbeef, Demetrius Beevil, and Arthur Betterbeef.
Yeah. Well then, he must have a baby belt.
He might have. Well, I mean, there's so many damn belts. Who knows?
Right.
Who knows? There's 500 million belts, and that's just in one sanctioning body.
Right, but I know he's going for the record. He's also going for.
You said he's a Golden Boy fighter?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay, hold on. Because I remember Munguia, he was talking about was going to beat Mayweather's record, but I don't know about a light heavyweight. I'm just looking for somebody with a really high record. It's undefeated. Munguia is 37-0. Oh, you're right. Now I see the name. Oh, Aobs wrote it in the channel. I didn't even see him write it because it's so delayed.
Ramirez. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot all about that dude who's fought nobody. Nobody. That's right. What the? But he doesn't have a belt, does he?
I thought he did. I thought he did.
What belt did he win? I'm about to look up Zerto. Hold on. Zerto Ramirez. Let's look him up. Gilberto. Here we go. Boom. Boy, like no belt, no belt, no belt.
He got a belt. I thought he had a belt.
It says, how did he lose the belt? It says he beat Jesse Hart, and it was for the WBO World Super Middleweight title. So how does he not still have it?
Right. That's what I was.
Because Joe Smith has that belt.
Oh, because he moved up to light heavy from that. They fought in the super middleweights.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm thinking about this
Yeah.
wrong, but yeah, it light heavyweight. Yeah, he doesn't have a belt.
But he should be lined up for a. Is it? Yeah, he should be lined up if he was the
Oh,
WBO champion.
I mean,
should
he
be
could
lined up
fight
to
Joe.
somebody.
Let's see who Joe Smith's about to fight because he was supposed to fight Better Be to unify, but you know, he got
42-0.
42
And that's why we
and 0.
couldn't. That's why we couldn't think of his name because there was really nobody on his resume other than Jesse Hart. He fought twice.
Yes, I know. Like,
Oh, he just beat Barrera, Sullivan Barrera.
I'm trying to see who Joe Smith Jr. is about to fight. Because the only thing I see here is now Joe Smith Jr. did just sign with DAZN. So that might be a fight because of Golden Boy DAZN. But I thought he was supposed to fight Jacobs. So I'm looking. Yeah, it said Better Be if he was targeting. It says Daniel Jacobs should be next at 175.
He's not a bad fighter. I just want to see him in there with a little better competition. You know what I'm saying?
But here's the thing about it. Here's the thing about Zerto Ramirez, right? Let's say Zerto, right? Let's say he gets to 50-0 and beats nobody that we can think of. Does that mean now he's better than Mayweather?
Nah.
I'm just saying, but let's just say Oscar moves him this way. Let's just say he gets to 51-0 and beats nobody, right? And Oscar's like, look, Zerto Ramirez, I'm going to pay you $100 million just to retire because, you know, Oscar doesn't like Mayweather, right? So let's just say he does some under-table stuff like that to get him to retire before he loses. If we go by Mayweather standards, that means Zerto's better, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
if it's in context, yeah.
That's why
context.
Mayweather right now is saying he's better than Muhammad Ali. He's better than Mike Tyson ever was. He's better than Lennox Lewis. He's better than Joe Louis. He's better than Sugar Ray Leonard, Hagler, Hearns. We could go on forever. He's better than all of them because he never lost.
Yeah.
So yo, we need to start a petition. Zerto, we need to do a GoFundMe to get Zerto to 51-0, and then we just pay for his retirement. And then we'll see what 50-0 means then.
$100 million. I think Oscar got to pay that $100 million back to the zone. so that's why he's trying to fight everybody, and he sees something in everybody, every champion in the world. He might come back, fight heavyweight. I mean, just to get that money, get that monkey off his back.
Well, who's he about to fight? He's about to fight that MMA fighter.
Yeah, anybody. He trying to make anything work, man, because that contract with Canelo, he gotta earn that back. So that's why he doing all this shit. You know what I mean? He probably out there selling snow cones and shit and everything. Like, you never know, man.
He said he out there selling snow cones in front of every fight. Come to my ice truck. Come to my ice truck. I got strawberry, watermelon.
The golden boy thing. The golden boy, everything. It's fantastic. Get it. You know what I'm saying? Got his little logo on there and shit. Man.
What if they just kissed? What if they just kissed? What if they kissed?
I was like, what is this dude talking about?
Man, you better get your lingerie wearing ass off this.
Yo, that dude was like, he's so chiseled. He looks like a. I was
Adonis.
Like,
he's like, you look like an Adonis. Oh, look at him, no fat.
I was like, this dude needs to stop drinking, man. He exposing himself something nasty.
Hey,
Like,
they say the real you come out when you drink, and he was all over Cunningham.
yeah, man. I'd like to not think that because I get mad. So I just say, you know what? Maybe I should just not do that.
Why do you get mad?
I don't know. I don't know. I just start to get angry, and
Hey
I just
man,
for no
hey man,
reason.
there's a lot of De La Hoyas in prison right now that be running the yard.
That's crazy. Yeah, yeah, man. I'm just like, I don't know, man. I don't know what that dude was doing. Everybody was doing it. I even think dude was doing a shot. I forget his name. He did a shot on that Triller shit. I was like, oh shit. L Bernstein. L Bernstein.
Hmm.
I was like, what the fuck? This dude up here doing shots and shit. Like, fuck it. It's a party. So
Yo,
whatever they got going on is crazy.
and it was wrong for that. Like, how you gonna give a guy who's struggling, who's been in AA alcohol, like, hey man, you want a shot?
I didn't even know he was like that, man. Oh, whoa, nah. I know they was getting dude came fucked up already. It looked like
I don't
uh,
know.
I'm talking about
De
Oscar.
La Hoya, yeah.
Yeah, he had his own shit. You know what I'm saying? He came with his own shit. He came with his shit in the trunk.
I'm
Like
trying to see what weight class he's gonna be fighting at. Is Victor Belfort, who he's about to fight.
he was good when he was in his heyday. He could fight. I'll give him that, but I don't know about now, man. It's just kind of like a reach, man. You know what he doing it for? He doing it for the bag.
He
You know what I'm
got
saying?
to. He
Yeah, he
got
got to
to.
do it. Yeah,
He don't have a choice. Like he out of money. Canelo left him. The golden goose is gone.
yeah. That's a fact. That's a fact, man. He's gone, and
And
now he
I guarantee you, like what we don't know, I guarantee you the zone hit him up for some money because that's a big loss that they took by not having Canelo. And then they did that $365 million deal with him.
yeah.
But it says it's at 180 pounds. So
Wow.
I mean he might try to fight Jake Paul next. If they're fighting at 180, he
And
only got
he
to go up
was
10 pounds.
then he might get some of that cash.
Oh, he definitely
180, but he was probably naturally a 154 pounder. I mean, even with cutting weight at one point in time. So
yeah.
even to get up to 180, man, that can't be good.
Well, I mean, he's been on alcohol for so long, that weight done gained a lot. But I want to say this. I want to say this. Do you remember the De La Hoya Mayweather fight?
Yeah,
A lot of people say that Mayweather won. However, when I watched it, it was very close.
it was close. It was a very close fight.
Now think about this. Think about if Mayweather would have fought the actual Golden Boy in his prime.
Mhm.
I don't think Mayweather could beat him.
At a lighter weight class, I don't know. Uh, because they would have had both be in their prime, so that would have made it. That'd have been probably about what 140,
Yeah, probably.
about 140, and yeah, that'd have been a hell of a fight.
But I'm just looking at like if old Oscar fought that well. And he really wasn't old. He was only what, like 33, 34.
Mhm.
But the way his lifestyle is, doing all that drugs, drinking, you
Mhm.
age fast.
Right.
Um, but you could tell that he was way past his prime, his boxing prime, I'll say.
Well, I don't know. Like, I had to say, there was a like when De La Hoya fought who Ike Corte. That was like Corte kind of had his way with him up until the last round.
Right.
It was a good fight though, back and forth for him, you know. But that's the problem with the over marination. We not sure and we don't get it when we really want it. Kind of like with the motherfucking Floyd and Manny thing. You know what I'm saying? We may never get a Wilder fucking AJ. Like that's the problem with boxing. It's like when the iron's hot, that's when you gotta make it work. And
Yeah.
then not only are you making massive money in the process, but you're carving like in stone like legendary performances. You know what I'm saying? It'll never be forgotten when we got these guys at their best. You know what I'm saying? And we just never get that as boxing fans, or very rarely do.
And I agree. That's why, like, really truthfully, like for recent fighters, I would like to see Boots fight Victor Ortiz before either one of them fight Victor Ortiz. Why did I say Victor Ortiz?
Virgil.
Virgil
Yeah,
Ortiz.
yeah,
You know why I said Victor? Because I just seen him.
yeah.
What card was that he's
Oh, he's
fighting
fighting
on?
Guerrero
Yeah,
on the
on the
on,
Ugas
on the
card.
on the Ugas
Yeah,
Pacquiao
yeah,
card.
yeah. I
Yeah,
just seen him at the press conference. That's why I said it. But Virgil Ortiz, I would like to see him fight Boots Ennis right now before either one of them fight Earl Spence or Terrence Crawford. I like to see the young guys like knock each other
yeah,
off, find out who the best is before they get in there with the champions. Like that's what I'm saying. Like boxing used to be a lot more exciting because all the best young guys would knock each other off before they got to the champion. So you knew they were the best because even if Ortiz beats Crawford, there's still going to be people like, well, Boots could beat him. But
right,
if this was old school boxing, there wouldn't be that statement out there because they would have already fought before either one even got a title shot.
right. And that's the
That
problem
that's
with the promotions and the
yeah,
sides of the street and the networks and all that shit. And I don't understand it, to be honest with you, because there's plenty of money to be made if
a
they
lot
make
more.
those fights, and if they go ahead. But at the same time, when both are banking on, like, Golden Boy banking on Ortiz, and I don't know who Boots' promoter is, but they can't even
Is
get
he
that. They
not?
can't
Is he
even get
not
that
PBC?
motherfucker a fight. I heard he
I thought
said
Boots
that.
was PBC.
I don't know, but I do know that he got turned down like 15 times, which is crazy. Like, guys just didn't want to fight him. Promoters didn't want to deal with him. Like, they didn't want to give him a shot. 15 times, he said. I'm like, that's insane. That's behind closed doors.
Right.
Like,
And
that's crazy.
Sean Porter said he'd never fight him.
But then there you go. That's another, the difference between now and then too. Guys would never say things like, "I'll never fight that guy." You know what I'm saying? You're never gonna get a shot. I'll never fight that guy. That guy is never gonna fight me. It's like, that's bad. That's bad, man. That makes you look bad, especially to the old school guys. We be like, that ain't big champ talk, man. I'm not fighting that guy. He signed to Showtime, not PBC. He got
Yeah,
a
so
weird
so you can
setup.
see why I thought it was PVC because
Right.
Showtime does PVC
Well,
cards.
that's right.
Hey, Red Glove, jump on.
Say he shined to Showtime, not PBC. Got weird setup. Yeah, probably don't want to be connected to a promoter and a network
Yeah.
to keep that open, but it's probably hurting him at the same time. You know what I mean? He probably
Mhm.
feels that it's a better move, and that's the thing. Is it's like you got to get lucky sometimes, man. Out there, you could be talented and never get a shot for
Well, it's
whatever
probably
reason.
it's probably too with him signing with Showtime, it's less money coming out of his paychecks when he fights
Right.
because he's got less people to pay off.
Well, it's tough for Showtime to even maintain boxing on their platform. They're debating on letting it go like HBO did,
Yeah.
unless it's like a pay-per-view and a one-time event, on and off thing.
Well,
So,
Fox is thinking about getting rid of PVC boxing as well.
uh, well, PBC should probably look into that app shit. You know,
What is it going to be? PVC streaming? Like what
I
app are
don't,
they going to get on?
I don't know. I don't know,
Disney
man.
Disney Plus boxing?
Disney Plus boxing, Hulu. Who knew Hulu PBC?
I'm signed
Yeah.
with Hulu.
Netflix. we got this. You know what I'm saying? Or just come on with their own shit. Maybe push some other sports like the Zone, and just for the funding, get a couple
Yeah.
sponsors, and boom, it works. And it's steady money instead of being on a budget. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's because you got a lot going on, and then what works and don't work, and you got a lot of people funding you, and you got a lot of money backing you up, so you can move it to what works and what don't in the meantime and in between time, and touch and go until you figure it out. What sports move the crowd,
Mm-hmm. I need a Red Glove to jump on. Red Glove is the second best YouTuber on all of YouTube, but Blue Glove is the best.
Yeah, Blue Glove got him, man.
Yeah,
I
he
hate to
got him
say it.
every time.
Motherfucker said
And you gotta
Blue.
understand, man. You gotta think, man. Blue Glove working hard right now. He's saving lives. You know, you don't catch COVID
Mhm,
with blue gloves. You know what I mean?
mhm.
He's out there working.
Yeah, getting it in too. I gotta give it the blue glove, even though he was going through a hard time. You know what I mean? But then it turned around, and yeah, he's good now.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, it turned around, man. It turned around. Was you there for that live when
No,
fucking?
no, no, no. I wasn't
Oh,
there
that
for
was
that
the
live.
funniest shit, man. Yo, Santos is a funny ass dude, man. That dude, he had a glove with the smiley face, and then turned it around with him crying and shit. Had a blue glove. That shit was. He was like, then it all turned around. Everything was going good, and then he turned it, flipped the shit. I was dying, man. Shit was funny as fuck.
So he actually had the doctor glove blown
Yeah,
up in there.
yeah. Shit was just. It was comedy gold. I don't know what live it is. Maybe Red knows, but I tell you what, man, that shit had everybody in tears, man. That shit was funny as fuck.
Yeah, he be killing me with all the different voices.
Yeah, he did the Al Heyman today. That shit was hilarious.
But I tell you what though, Black, he can do a good Earl Spence. Like he killed a Earl Spence.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He does, man. He got that down. But yeah, man, I don't know. It's a different time, but that don't mean I'm having trouble as a boxing fan today digesting some of the bullshit that's happening. But we're getting it undisputed, so you know.
Mhm. Now, do you know anything about that contract? Did he sign to the PBC or is it just a one fight deal?
I have no idea, but I do know they willing to work with each other, and the money's there. You know what I'm saying? And that's what networks and fighters need to be able to do. They need to be
Right.
able to cross the street or co-main, like co-promote the fight, and and you're gonna make out one way or the other because number one, it's on your network or both networks, and if you send the guy over there and he wins, he's coming back to you. You know
Well,
what
the
I'm saying?
thing about it too is the problem is a lot of the promotional companies they try to monopolize all the talent, and the issue is they never do monopolize all the talent, so they only get a handful of them, and
Right?
it makes
Because
it very stale when you see the same guys just rotating, fighting each
right.
other.
And that's the thing is it's difficult to monopolize a division because everybody's doing the same thing.
Right.
So what you're doing is you're killing the sport because now the network well, you got to be signed with this guy or you got to be signed with this network in order to get this fight, and it's like okay, but then guys want ridiculous amounts of money to cross the street, and it's like why? If they're willing to pay you more regardless, why are you so concerned? Like I never understood the whole PBC thing and Bud Crawford. I never really did. Like you can name every welterweight on PBC that wanted more money than they got to fight anybody in their entire career to fight Bud. Every one of them. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? From Danny Garcia to Sean Porter to Earl Spence to even Manny Pacquiao, other than the Mayweather fight. He's got a $10 million guarantee. I think it was 10 and it turned to 5 or something like that to fight Earl. And he wanted 40 to fight Bud. And if you asking a guy like
Yeah,
Bob
but you gotta
Earl
look at it
for
like this
40
though. You gotta
million,
look at it like this though too though. I kind of cannot disagree with the 40 million only because of one factor. They were trying to do it in the Middle East, like Saudi Arabia. So the money that they would have generated would have been much higher than what Earl Spence and Manny would have made in America. So I can understand why he wanted more because the potential to make more would have been there. You know what I'm saying?
well, sort of, but at the same time, I'm saying, if you want 20 mil with the pay per view upside or 25 to fight Earl, why do you want 40 to fight Bud?
Well,
And
maybe it ain't got nothing to do with Bud. Maybe it's the fact that Manny Pacquiao doesn't like Bob Arum.
Right. Oh, that too. And that's the other thing why I say he should get away from Bob. But that goes back to networks and promoters and all that. Because he has a hard time. People don't want to fuck with him because they were signed to him and he screwed them over. He screwed over Manny. You know what I mean? He tried to screw over Mayweather. He tried to screw over all these guys, and he don't want to promote Bud. So I'm like, I don't know, man. It just seems all bad if Bud stays there.
You know what? Thinking of talking about this, it made me think about another person that Mayweather could have fought that he didn't. Bradley.
Well, I don't think, but he probably didn't want to work with Bob. I think even Bradley said that. He said, I wanted to stay with Top Rank and I didn't want to cross over because they were loyal to me. See? Same thing.
Yeah, but Pacquiao was Top Rank when Mayweather fought him.
Yeah, but that was Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? That's Pacquiao and Mayweather. That was the fight that people weren't even talking about the heavyweights then.
No.
Fight.
That was the biggest fight in boxing, period.
Right. Yeah, period. So, I mean, at that point in time, like, there was nothing bigger than that. They couldn't go wrong by making that fight. Even Bob couldn't have bitched about not making no money. You know what I'm saying? Because they all got a piece of our pockets for that one.
Yeah, the thing is, this is what I look at with Bob Arum. Bob Arum, out of all the promoters out there, he is the best promoter at finding talent and getting people to a point. Yes. But he is horrible with making you that top end in-game money. Right,
exactly. And I think that's the problem. That's a big problem because I don't think he gives back or invests.
Look at that picture.
Make it bigger.
Can you make it bigger? I want to look at it. I gotta see that.
How do I make it bigger?
If you press, there's like a.
You click. It's not there. It is. Oh man.
Canelo versus Plant. It's funny because it's actually Mark is the one that did that, and when he told me about it, and when he told me about it, I looked at it and I laughed. I was like, "Wait a minute, is that Charles Manson?"
It is.
Crazy, man. That's funny. Yeah, so you did re-edit that video, doing with the blue glove millipede.
Yeah, I did. It's
so funny, man.
It's one of the
link it and I'll play it real fast.
I had to figure out which one it is. I'll see if I can. Y'all keep talking. I'll see if I can figure out which one it is.
I thought you already knew where it was.
Yo, I'm gonna put it like this though, man. Yo, when we were on that live, everybody was crying, man. That shit was just so funny.
I could probably figure it out though, because I know it's one of the boxing memes, and I know it's one of the later ones that I did. So it's not gonna take that long. It shouldn't take that long for me to find it.
That shit was comedy gold, man. I gotta admit it, man. That shit was just so funny, man. That shit was
Red. How quickly do you think you could find it?
Maybe 2 or 3 minutes, maybe.
All right. After I play this, I gotta go. I just had something. Right. Somebody just texted me, and I gotta jump off real fast.
Oh, okay. Well, keep talking, and we'll see if I can find it.
All right. Let me just send this text message.
Undisputed. We're getting another Undisputed. And I know a lot of y'all mad that PBC is.
But you know, this is what I looked at the whole time, though. 1, 2. I know over there, Black is really big on Undisputed, but this was my contention for it, right? Let's say the fight did not happen. I'm glad that it is. It's a huge fight. Canelo finally gets to go for Undisputed, and he can claim that. But if the fight didn't happen and he went on to fight a Beevil or a Better Beef, to me, that's a bigger fight. That's a better fight because at the end of the day, nobody remembers who these guys beat for Undisputed.
Yeah, but
they remember the name on the resume.
It certainly helps. It certainly helps. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a hell of an argument to say to a guy, you know what I'm saying? The face of boxing, that actually helps a lot, bro.
Let me ask you 1, 2. Who did Lennox Lewis beat to become Undisputed?
Doesn't matter.
Before him, who did Mike Tyson beat to become undisputed?
I know this, but I got old fart mind right now, man. Oh man,
Wasn't it Larry Holmes?
was it?
I thought because he didn't. Who did he beat? Didn't he beat Tony to get the belts, and then he beat Larry Holmes to finish it out?
Tucker?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
But this is my point. The point is, we don't know who the fuck they beat to become undisputed. We know they were undisputed, but at the end of the day, it's the names on their resume that make them good, not being undisputed.
Well, I'm saying undisputed with the names on your resume don't hurt. Shit.
Right.
You know
But
what
let
I'm
me
saying?
ask you this. Let's say that we're talking about Canelo's career after it's over, right? Let's say that he could only fight one person, Plant for undisputed or Beeble. Okay, that's
Tony
it.
want to argue for the sake of arguing.
No. I'm just saying real fast. What would be more impressive?
36 seconds.
It's like he's
No.
gotta stop
36 seconds into the video, I put the link.
Oh, okay.
that.
But that is funny that you thought.
Hey, I don't see the link.
It'll be up in 36
You don't
seconds.
see it? It's
Like,
there.
damn.
Where?
Oh, you know what? You might need to wrench me up.
Oh, you can put it in a private chat, no?
I can't because I did it on my if I leave this shit, it's gonna kick me out.
Stop talking. Hold on, I got you. Okay, now you can put it
All right, hold on.
because I don't see a link at all.
You see it
There
now?
it is.
Okay, I see it now.
He said, "Stop talking." he like me. He got to turn the music down to Parallel Park.
All right, you said 36.
Yep, 36 seconds in. Basically, just past the intro.
Okay, so I need to go to share screen now. Where the fuck? Okay, I don't ever use this that often, so.
No, it's all good, man. I still don't know how to do that shit. So you're still ahead of me.
Be here. All right, can you see it?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Let's turn on the sound.
Earl found alter ego for the moment. Eating that cat claw. It's the blue blood military. Blue blood military.
Hold on. I edited it pretty good.
Hey, man, let me tell y'all, man.
Wait till you see where he's like, it turned around.
I'm back in abundance, baby. Hey, real quick, shout out to the Blue Glove Militant. I just hit 700 subscribers, but he had to hit millions of subscribers with this pandemic. And he trolled you and took off like damn. Trolled your ass and came with some regular. People, I was
It's coming up. What?
You know what I'm saying? People was loving me. You know, I was everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
This sounds like a where are they now?
Yeah.
Just fucking turned
You see the tears and everything.
That's it. That shit, man. Yo, it's still funny as fuck. It's like the fourth time I seen it. That shit.
He said, and then it all turned around.
He just flipped the fucking glove on, man. I was like, oh shit. That was one of the moments, man.
He told me he showed it to his daughter because his daughter actually made that at school, the glove. And I was like, I was like, man, I wish he would have told me that beforehand because I could have re-edited it. Like I still had it where I could have went and removed the women, you know, the scantily clad.
Yeah.
Right.
I would have did it and sent it over to him. That way she could have had it. But yeah, I don't have all that stuff where I could, you know, make those adjustments now.
Yeah, man, those moments, man. I'm glad you captured that shit. That shit was
was
hilarious, man.
But hey, guys, I gotta drop
Thanks for having me, man.
I appreciate y'all coming through. I wish I could have stayed on longer, but you know, it's always good to have y'all.
Yeah, we wish you could have stayed on longer too, but we'll see you when you're back with another review.
That's right.
Review.
Send me a text.
All right, y'all have a good day.
You too. Peace.